So that leads us to the concept of a market segment, which is basically a subset of the population. There are 4 criteria for a market segment, and these are like candy for multiple choice tests. In order to have a market segment, the people in the segment have to be similar to each other with respect to your product. And this gets away from the idea, gets us past the idea that everybody is unique. Yes, everybody is unique, but when we're only looking at one dimension, then people can be the same. For example, who drinks coffee? Who drinks tea? Okay, a few of us. The idea is that coffee drinkers are similar to each other in respect to coffee. We may be different in everything else, but at least when it comes to coffee, we're similar to each other. And tea drinkers are similar to each other when it comes to your caffeinated beverages. They're different in every other way, but in that dimension, they are the same. And you need to be different from everybody else. So coffee drinkers like coffee and don't like tea. Tea drinkers like tea and don't like coffee. So now I've got 2 distinct groups that are similar to each other with respect to coffee, and I'm able to differentiate them from the rest of the population based on their taste in coffee. That's the first part of it. And then the second part is you have to be reachable. Remember we talked about in order for a transaction to occur, there needs to be a means of communication. And so you have to be able to communicate with the people in the population in order to reach the subset who might see value in your product. And we'll talk about this a little bit. It doesn't necessarily have to mean they're reachable directly. I don't have to be able to have your email address, but if I know your habits well enough, I can reach you indirectly by posting an ad, by posting content that would attract you to my site, and I can reach you that way. And the last one is it needs to be economically viable. And how big does a segment need to be economically viable? Standard marketing answer applies. It depends. I have had people come to me with business plans where if I get 1 customer in the first year, the business is viable. General Electric for many years was famous of we're not going to get into an industry unless we can be number 1, 2, or 3 within 5 years. So for them, a segment needs to be number 1, 2, or 3. For some people, it's 1, and it just totally depends on your business plan. How big your business is, how many customers you need, but it's something you want to think about. How many customers do I need in order to have a successful business? This is going quickly. Are there questions so far? There being no questions, I will pretend we understand what's going on.